Welcome in. It's Clippers Talk After Dark. I'm at a Moslin. Don't want to get in front of Norman Powell and the picture behind me where he was at the wall banging the drum pre-game, or right before tip-off, I should say. What a night. What a night, Clipper Nation. We'll see how many people are up for this. Appreciate everybody who showed up and showed out at Intuit Dome as the Clippers got their 6th straight victory there. 3rd straight win after losing 3 straight. I don't know how this team is doing it tonight without Norman Powell because he was at the wall because he's got a left hammy injury. Adrian says Miller time. Jeremiah Gonzalez said Stormin' Norman is now a band kid. The drummer boy. Now that we're getting close to Christmas, it's just so awesome. The love affair with Clipper Nation and guys like Norman Powell. Mike Dang says W. West Side. W for the Clips. I am really proud of this team to win this game with their defense. As Ross says here, defense keeps them in games. They don't have Kawhi. They didn't have Norman Powell, their leading scorer and one of the most efficient players in the game, who's shooting 50% from 3 basically right now. And they still shot 50% from 3. Adrian said, I'm so happy this team is so good and just seeing Miller getting minutes and the crowd getting loud for him. Jordan Miller. Jordan Miller. Peter says, bobblehead has a tough scar too. Love it. I wish I could have got myself one. This was a great night. They're 3-0 on this homestand. They got one more game coming up against Sacramento on Friday. Excited for that. Excited for things to come. 2 games above 500 now, 9-7. That could give them a little bit of cushion for entering a tough road trip coming up. At Philadelphia Sunday, at Boston Monday, Wednesday in D.C., and then they finish it off in Minnesota, the day after Thanksgiving. So they got days before, or games before, and right after Turkey Day. Alex Webb says, let's go. Free chicken tonight. Yep. The Wall earned themselves some free chicken. Jeremy Gonzalez said, I know it was his first real game, but Killer Miller should have gotten the ball more. But with time comes that confidence. He got 8 shots off in 16 minutes. It's not nothing. Adrian said KPJ was a bit terrible, and I had seen Bones Highland's attitude. He's not happy, I can tell. KPJ made some of the biggest shots of the game. Like, I don't know what people are watching sometimes, because I can literally reference all these shots and explain how important they were. I know he had some bad moments too, but he had a big hezzy move for a layup in the first quarter. But after a 9-0 run in the third quarter that got Orlando back into it, he hit the silencer, a right elbow jumper. It was a really big shot. He hit the first shot of the fourth quarter. He had a block on Mo Wagner. I don't know how you could say his play was terrible tonight. He was a +5. He led them in the plus. To say he wasn't a net positive when he ended up a +5, and I think it was accurate in this case. I don't know. MKXLNT said opponent held under 100 after Orlando had held everybody else during their 6-game winning streak that was snapped tonight by the Clippers. Orlando held everyone under 100, and the Clippers score 104. Mike Dang said, honestly, I would not be mad with trying more Miller time for a stretch of games just to see what he got. Who would be mad? You'd be the first person to be mad. Why would you not want to see Jordan Miller play more? Jordan Miller did his thing. He got in. He made his case. Maybe I'll play some audio for you post game. But I thought Jordan Miller played well. He did Jordan Miller-like things. As soon as he got in the ball game, he got to the free throw line. After, I think, he got a steal. It was, a strip of Mo Wagner, and then he got fouled on the other end with 1 minute left in the first quarter. About a layup to start the second quarter, which looked like a set play to get in the basketball. Then he got a bucket on the right block. He missed a floater in the second, but got the rebound. And the Clippers ended up losing it afterwards, but he got the offensive rebound off of his floater that he missed. And it was such an athletic play in the second quarter. It had me very encouraged, because it's one thing to look like one of the better athletes on the floor in the G League or in the Summer League or in preseason, but level of competition wise at the NBA, where he looked really explosive getting to this board, I loved it. Yeah, I understand this point by Jeremy Gonzalez. KPJ makes big shots, but he is insane ball pounder. When it works, it's pretty. When it goes bad, it's ugly. It is, but it's still just a missed shot in the end. Like, people think, because aesthetically it's brutal when he misses them, but it's not like it just gives the other team 2 points because he missed the shot that badly. It's still just a missed shot. Chemo said, "What up? Might be the best one of the year." Intuit was hopping. Ray's in here, said, "Let's go." Jeremy Gonzalez said, "I love that Jordan Miller doesn't just look for the contact. He gets the contact, but still looks to get the ball in the basket, not just chuck it or ref bait." I love that too. Bunit said, "This team's defense is too good at times. It's unbelievable." I want to update the advanced numbers on offensive rating and defensive rating after tonight. So they're 22nd offensively, and I think that they were 21st earlier. And they moved up one spot defensively. They went from 7th to 6th after this game. Pace-wise, they're still 21st. Where did Orlando go? They're still second defensively. Offensively, they're still 25th. It's almost making me wonder if this thing, it's updated. 16 games in. Mike Dang said, "I'm saying Miller even at the expense of Mann." Sure, if Mann's not playing well, he didn't have a good game tonight. I'd say 3 out of his last 6 games have been very encouraging from Terrence Mann. Basically, since the Toronto game at the very end, when he had those defensive plays, and then the first game against Houston, and then the game against the Golden State Warriors. Those were the 3 very good games. But then he's had some 3 average to below average games over the last 6 too. Ray said, "Started to crash, but need to listen to some more analysis." We got it for you. Got some audio too coming up. Ray said, "Jordan is the real deal." He is. Ray called in post game. Thanks, Ray. Bunit said, "We would be right up there with the Warriors with Kawhi. We are built similarly. Both teams rely on defense." Our friend from Italy, Julio Muchita, said, "Hi, Adam. What a win. We outplayed the second best defense in the NBA, and we shot great from three-point range, 11 of 22. Anyway, it's already morning in Italy, so I'm enjoying a triple espresso coffee." For Amir, who was incredible, the player of the game. 11 points in the first quarter, filling in for Norman Powell, getting the start, and goes 4 of 4 from distance. Jeremy Gonzalez said, "I would say this was probably a team-in worst game of the season. Didn't look great today, but got to move to the next game. I know what he can do." I mean, he was really good Monday night, so he's just been up and down as of late instead of just down. Frank White said, "What's up with all the KPJ hate? He started off the season slow, but he's been playing better lately." He has. He legitimately has. In fact, I want to see some of the numbers recently on KPJ and see where his efficiency is at, because I'm pretty sure if I go, let's say the last, 10 10 games. They're at 16. So I'll take out the first 6 with Kevin Porter Jr. I want to get a last 10 game sample size from him. How about that, Clipper Nation? Almost got it. I want to see what he's shooting. Kevin Porter Jr., last 10 games. 47% from the field, 32% from 3. That's not bad. 33 assists to 22 turnovers. That's not great. But he's a plus 22 over this time. Last 10 games, 47% from the field. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, it looks so ugly when he misses. I don't worry about that stuff. Like, he's hit some really tough shots too. And 3-point shooting has gotten better. After, I think he started like 2 for 21 from 3. He's 6 for his last 19. That's 32%. Chemo said that D tonight from both teams was insane. 90s hoops. Amir said, I'm over Terrence Mann. He's not needed on this team anymore. Trade him for assets. Here's the problem with that logic. If other teams see that he's not playing well, what are you going to get for him? You'd be selling very low. MKXLNT said Bamba 50% from 3. Is he? I thought he missed 2 his first game. He just made his first tonight. So it'd be like 1 for 3. Frank White said, just seen a video of Kawhi working out. It looks like he's close to returning. What are you talking about? Where's this video? Hit me up at FollowAdame if you have a video of this. Amir said Chris Dunn outplaying Mann and Miller has better potential. Chris Dunn's 30. Yeah, he's... I don't know about potential. We know who Chris Dunn is, at least those who have followed him. Jeremy Gonzalez said, I think it's just that they want Miller and they want to keep T-Man in the rotation. So they want to take out KPJ because he can have some bad moments and they only look at the bad for why people are hard on KPJ. Larissa said, I didn't know Bamba could make outside shots. That was awesome. He's a 36% league average 3-point shooter at 7 feet tall. He's taken over 700 threes in his career. This is a part of his game. It's real. He's had a season, guys, where he shot over 38% while taking 4 3-pointers per game. Ray said something in Italian. Maybe it was good morning. Ty Lue, this comes from Chemo, is going to have some hard decisions to make when we are healthy. We are deep. I think the front office is probably going to have to do something. Amir said Bamba is solid so far. Yeah, I thought he would be. Alex Webb said, sorry, I missed Ty Lue's presser. Did he say how long Norm is out for? Well, he's out Friday, and then they'll reevaluate after that. Jeremy Gonzalez said KPJ is an underrated defender. When he is on, he can guard and is good at deflecting the ball. He is. Darkman said, what up, Clip Gang? Boonit said, this team has Coffey, Derek Jones Jr., Mann, Dunn, Zoo, Bamba, Norm, Miller. The construction is good around Harden and Kawhi. Kawhi will make this team go fast. Easy 20-5 stretch. Let me know when he's back first. Amir said, decision's easy. It's clear who the starters are and the guys that should get minutes. Coffey, and Chris Dunn. Darkman said, love how Powell was up in the wall. There he is. Chemo said 3-0 in the Bamba era. Baby. Jay said KPJ defense, hustle, and attitude has been great regardless of the offense, which has been decent. His handles are elite, but sometimes he tries to do more than he needs to, but I like it. Definitely. He needs to stop over dribbling. Like he's snatching it back. It's kind of like Paul George would do at times when he already has the advantage. Go by the defender. You don't need to keep dancing with the basketball. Art 8 said, must be an old video. Never seen it either. Like, oh. Let's stop with the misinformation, Frank White. Jay said, I think T-Man has what? Terrence Mann can be traded now. So there's 2 bad comments from Frank White. That's a timeout. Ivica Zubats can't be traded until the end of the season. Terrence Mann is trade eligible right now, guys, just to be clear. Boonit said KPJ's defense has been really impressive. I told you. Who's the guy who posted the defensive mix on Twitter before the season started? I told you he's a much better defender than you realize. Bunit said T-Man was the only minus in the rotation today, and he had a donut. He had a bad game. Jeremy Gonzalez said Mo got a nice shot. Once that rust is off, he's going to be a reliable backup. I think he's a reliable backup already. Bunit said, I feel like Norm will be back after the Boston game. We'll see. I asked Tomer about it. Tomer Azarli came on pregame. He spoke with Norman Powell before the game. Norm was in good spirits. And Tomer said, he'll probably he's at least likely be traveling with the team. Like, it's not that serious. Mike Dang said KPJ bad moments can be noisy, but at least it's not Westbrook loud. Yeah, I think the bad moments are so loud sometimes that it distracts people from the overall production, which has been much, much better. Last 10 games, he's shooting 47% from the field. What are we talking about? Jay said, I think T-Man gets in his head and hurts his quick decision-making. He has been asked to learn 5 different positions in previous years. Maybe it's left him indecisive. I don't know, because he's been really good at adapting also when he's at his best. I think it's just a confidence thing, and it's weird that it's still wavering this late into his career. Amin said, been hate watching the Sixers lately. Yeah, the Sixers are in trouble. Jeremy said, when Russ was bad, there was nothing good. He didn't want to guard, and he couldn't score. Once he was out of all defensive teams, he didn't want to guard anymore. I kind of agree with that. B said KPJ is like a young Harden. Yeah, he is a very poor man's Harden. We've been saying that before the season started. A lefty, gets into his bag, ISO. Amir said KPJ was recovering well, just got to be more disciplined on the defensive end. He's good enough. He's been pretty good on the defensive end. Ross going to a PG watch. Yeah, guys, he hyperextended his knee again. They held him out. He wanted to re-enter the game. I hadn't heard that. Our Italian friend, I'm Sicilian, so I like Julio. Julio said T-Man will be fine. He is a proven NBA player. He simply started off poorly this season. I mean, how many times do we have to see that he pulls out of this? He starts off poorly, he figures it out. Amir said KPJ can score. Dude is just rusty in his new role. It'll take time to get his full basketball rhythm. Seems like that. Amin said hopefully we can go 4-0 to finish this homestand. I love that. Chemo said no Kawhi, no Norm, no problem. Trying to think. There was some audio I wanted you guys to hear. It was funny. It was Amir Coffey post-game and him looking at how many turnovers they had, 25 of them to be exact, and him just being in awe of the fact that they had 5 turnovers, and he kept looking at the box score like, what is going on here? Let me see if I can find this for you guys. Okay, I think I found it here. I'm going to play this audio for you guys. This is from Amir Coffey, player of the game, post-game, filled in more than just admirably. He outperformed expectations tonight, just like the Clippers have been outperforming expectations. Here he was post-game. This is funny. You're going to like this. I think he starts talking with Tomer Azarli about the turnovers here.
Games have been, but do you feel like you guys have grown more and more comfortable as the season's gone along in these type of games where it is so physical?
Yeah, I mean it's only gonna get more physical as the season goes on. So play games like this is good for us. We had so we turned the ball over a lot. So that's something that we gotta cut down on. But just winning games like this, it's important. Some games is
But your coach said too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know that. 25 turnovers. That's insane. But you gotta win games like this. Some games you're gonna have to grit it out. Through turnovers, through missed shots, whatever the case may be. They're a gritty team. Like they like to. I think they're number 1 in defense, if 2. So yeah. So their defense is good. They try to speed you up, get in passing lanes and things like that. So we definitely got to be better with that turnover ratio. But like I said, just winning games like this is definitely important, especially as the season goes on, because I'm sure this is the last game that we'll rack up some turnovers. So still coming out on top is important.
Not to focus too much on that, but this is probably the fifth or sixth time that he's coming to a post-game press conference, kind of really upset because of the turnover battle. What is it you guys can do better outside? Is it just taking care of the ball? Are you guys doing?
It's just taking care of the ball. I feel like a lot of our turnovers tonight were on us. Like you have some turnovers that's being aggressive, and you can live with those, but some of the silly ones you got to cut out. And I feel like a couple of those were silly turnovers. I had a couple. Everybody had a couple. So when you turn the ball over, trying to make a play, trying to be aggressive, like those are the ones that the coaching staff can live with, or your teammates can live with. But like just cutting out the ones that you can get rid of. And I'm sure that would have been like maybe 5 or 6. Just cutting it down just like that. But yeah, we definitely gotta cut that one down.
So in the flow of the game, given by your reaction, you genuinely don't know you have that many turnovers?
No, I mean I knew we had a lot. I didn't know it was that much. But yeah, just cutting down on those. That's something we could do. Yeah.
Thanks, Amir.
So there was Amir Coffey post game. Damn, 25 turnovers. I thought that was hilarious. There's something else with Amir Coffey I'll play in a little bit, but I'll get back to the comments section. But it was his night. He talked about that too, post game. Can be anybody's night. Tonight it was his. Bunit said, "Look at the West. No one is scaring me. Kawhi needs to get these braids tight or those braids tight and get on the court. It's crazy. Kawhi doesn't even need to guard the second best player. The defense will be world class. He doesn't need to guard the third best player." 8 Sports 8 said, "We get free Chick-fil-A thanks to Anthony Black. Do you go claim the free ones too?" I haven't yet, but I should. Jeremy said, "How did the Kings get Monday till Friday off? They're going to be well rested." Is that true? The Kings are off 3 days? John said, "Franz Wagner only shot 11 times tonight. It felt like most of them were highly contested. Clip's defensive execution was elite tonight." They wrecked Franz Wagner. They wrecked him. And Chris Dunn is guarding him at 6'3" to start the game. Chris Dunn is a defensive wizard. D Flow said, "I knew this game was going to be good because Zoo finally won a jump ball." ST said, "Miller was so wholesome in his interview." Bunit said, "Without Norm, Zoo should get 20 shots a game." And they won when he didn't get 20 shots tonight. Chemo said, "Are the Kings playing DeRozan and Sabonis Friday?" I'll check on that. We'll probably have a preview of that game tomorrow. Jay said, "Any new news on PJ Tucker?" No. Jeremy said he prefers not to win the jump, to be honest. Bunit said, "PJ Tucker just chilling at home eating barbecue." Jeremy said, "I got one. He is chilling in Mexico waiting to get to the Bucks." Is that where he's going to go back to Milwaukee? Amin said, "I feel like Amir's biggest things, in my opinion, are that he is a good free throw shooter, defender, and a good closer. He's just a good player." Jay said, "I'm surprised refs let both teams hack each other all game." B said, "Not re-signing PG was the best move. Derek Jones Jr., Coffey, Norm, etc. are killing it. Addition by subtraction?" Mike Dang said, "Zoo needs to get in better shape." Zoo's in good shape. Jeremy Gonzalez said, "Amir can maybe be a 40% three-point shooter. He can shoot the ball and is great, but realistically high 30s. I mean, he just shot 38% from 3 last season, guys. We know he can do that. I think he's going to end up shooting over 40% this year from 3. I think it's possible." B said, "PJ Tucker home playing Mario Kart." You guys are hating. X Mongo Project said, "We nullified Magic's D because we're already turning the ball over without their help." Light years. Frank White. Oh, he's back. Frank, what are you talking about? Nobody else is saying this but you, which means you're probably wrong, and I'm just going to put you in timeout again because you already spread misinformation about Terrence Mann. He can be traded this season. Christian said, is it just me or did KPJ and Miller look like they had something special chemistry-wise? MJR said, teams better watch out. We are on the way up. Hard-playing team is so fun to watch. Enjoying the season big time. Darkman said, Coffey is related to McGetty, right? I was so wrong about him. I thought they should have gotten rid of him long ago. I'm glad they stuck with him and developed him. Coffey's still only 27, too. Jeremy Gonzalez responds to Mike Dang, said, no way people are still saying Zoo is out of shape. He is a dog. Thank you. Darkman said, casuals say we don't develop anyone, but we developed Man and Coffey. It's true. Ray said, you should pull up the interview of Jordan Miller by a reporter from Clippers Radio. All right, I'll pull that up. This is funny. I didn't know there was a new member of Clippers Radio. This is new to me. So I guess Friday night, Carlo and I have a new radio partner. His name, Amir Coffey.
Amir Coffey, Clipper Radio. How did it feel packing the rotation today? What was your mindset going into the game?
It felt good. I had some teammates get really hot tonight. We just trying to give him the ball. He's very inspirational. And each time I see him play, it makes me want to play harder.
That's fire. Mm-hmm. Amir Coffey, Clipper Radio. How did it feel packing the...
This is the stuff right here. This is the good stuff. As Robin Williams said, Goodwill Hunting. This is the wholesome stuff. This is love. Oh, I love it. I love it. Mike Dang said, I think Zoo's motor could be better. Jeremy Gonzalez said, I know Adam is enjoying the wins because after one L, all the negativity is going to start rolling in and he's going to have to argue with these randoms that overreact and make up unrealistic trades. Couldn't have said it better myself. B. Elizaga? B. Said defense is killing it. Be sure of that. Amin said, in my opinion, I thought Zoo was the best player of the game, but I also agree with Coffey being in as well. He was clutch and amazing defensively. It's got to be Coffey. He was filling in for Norman Powell and went 4 of 4 from 3 to start. Bunit said, Chris Dunn can guard 1 through 4. He's a gem. Welcome to the dungeon. Bunit said, it's not fair. The Suns are off until Tuesday. Really? Jay said, we haven't had a successful first rounder in years. We should only get undrafted rookies and second rounders, LOL. Coffey undrafted. Miller second. Man second. Trade the next 5 first rounders. Andy said, I know Man had a tough shooting stretch to start last season, but he just looks really off. I agree. Has to be a confidence issue because he looked good last season. If only he had KPJ's and Bones' confidence. I agree with that. There's really no excuse. I mean, Jeremy Gonzalez said, the new member of Clippers Radio is AI Adam. That goes to last night's Clippers Talk After Dark. You might want to check that out. Bunit said, is Sabonis still out Friday? Let's see. ESPN Kings injury report. I thought we'd be talking about this game, tomorrow, but I'm only seeing an update from a couple of days ago. He's day to day with the back injury. If anybody else has an update, love to hear it. Jay said, Zoo looks exhausted. He is playing heavy minutes. Darkman said, if PG was interviewing Miller, he would have somehow put down Miller and glazed himself. Y'all just hating. Jeremy Gonzalez said, but when was the last time we had a first-round pick that wasn't bottom 5 in the first round? That's a good point. Bunit said, do you think Miller will just come out the rotation when Norm is back? Probably. KPJ could still get suspended. Nobody's been talking about it, but that is a distinct possibility still. I don't know what the NBA is going to do about it. I'm just going off a precedent with Miles Bridges and assuming that it's probably going to happen. I don't know how many games. It'd be kind of unusual if it didn't happen at all. But, so there's going to be an evolving rotation here. Amin said on the injury report, it says DeMar is good to go. There's GTD, but I wouldn't assume he is out or playing. Jay said Zoo is running more than everyone else. Defense, then taking the ball in most plays, then running to set high screens before running back to the box nonstop. His activity level has been really impressive. So if you think he's in bad shape, first of all, what type of shape are you in? Himothy said all Kings players are day-to-day. Monk, DeMar, Sabonis. They are probably going to play because it's an NBA Cup game. Sure. Is that going to put the pressure on them to play? Coach Lou, by the way, not happy once again with the turnovers. Do you guys want to hear from him post-game? I listened to it already, but no coach is going to be happy with 25 turnovers, even if you win. It's just a reflection on the coach. I'm sure that's what's so frustrating about it. It looks like a team that's undisciplined at times with all these turnovers. And it's not the stuff that Coach Lou ain't preaching. Hey, turn the basketball over. That's what we're good at here. That's how we can win a game with 25 turnovers. That's their secret weapon. No, they're winning in spite of that somehow, which I think speaks to their margin of error growing a little bit. Here's Coach Lou. I'll just play a little bit here.
Why are you upset tonight? You guys won the game. I think I know what you're going to say, but what's got you a little perturbed about winning this game?
I mean, we knew it was going to be nasty, but we had like 25 turnovers. Just, it makes no sense. We got to be better, all around the board, just taking care of the basketball. We got to own our space when teams are getting into us. And then we got to have an attack mindset. If they're going to deny the ball and be in passing lanes, that means just driving lanes available. So we just can't play like robots. Like, we got to be aggressive, attack, and making the right play. And, a lot of our turnovers just, our guys just come on, just throwing the ball to James, like, they can make plays. Like, we have good players that can make plays, especially in the open court. So we just got to be better, all around the board. We knew today was going to be, a bar fight. They play great defense, and, Mo's kind of said it to me, like he said, we both play the same exact way. Just scrappy defense, play hard, and compete. But I was very happy and excited about our defense tonight. I thought we did a good job. We're really paying attention to detail, understanding what we wanted to take away, and our guys did a good job with that. But offensively, we gotta be better. You shoot 49% from the field and 50% from three, and then you have 25 turnovers. So we gotta be better.
Coach, just how unique is it for you, just to see your team to turn the ball over like they do, but still can come out and win a game by, 10 plus points?
I mean, to win the game was great, but we got to get better. We can't continue to keep coming and talking about the same thing every single night. We're taking care of the basketball, turning the ball over, and we just can't do it. Especially, with our margin for error being so slim, and with guys being out. Like, we gotta just make sure we, respect the basketball, take care of the basketball, and getting shots on goal.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Chris Dunn individually. He's been solid all year for you guys defensively, but tonight seemed like he was so disruptive on the ball, getting his hands on deflections, steals. Do you see first or second team all defense for him in his future?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he guards every position. To guard Franz at the three, tonight, and then guard Steph the other night, and then, so just, he can guard multiple positions and does a great job of doing it. Like, he really takes guys out of the game. He's 6'3", but he's physical. He can guard the post up, gets through DHOs, can guard pick and rolls, one-on-one, and then he's also a great help defender. He can help go for steals and deflections and still close out and get back out to, shooters. So he definitely deserves that, and we brought him here this year. That's all he talked about, is wanting to be on one of those teams.
Coach Lou post game. I'm not trying to make an example out of anybody, but if this guy Frank White keeps spreading misinformation like this, he says Terrence Mann just signed a new contract. He can't be traded until after the deadline. That's not true. He could be traded today. He has no clue what he's talking about. And he keeps saying there's this Kawhi workout video going around. He looks fine. If he keeps saying this stuff, that's not true. It's not just going to be a timeout. I'm not trying to spread any misinformation here. I'm trying to be informative on this channel. You're just going to get blocked. Frank White, he has been a disaster here in the chat. I'm sorry, but I do not need this stuff. Jeremy Gonzalez said NBA Cup D'Lo wants $500,000 to use on vacation money, real high stakes. X-Mongo Project said, how do you feel about the NBA Cup, by the way? Because I don't care about it. I don't really either. I'm not there yet. But do I think it's smart for the NBA to do this? Yes, because anything that makes games in November and early December more interesting, just the bar is more interesting than the games normally are at this time of the year. If it clears that, that's a positive. Then what they're doing is right. Bunit said Jeff Van Gundy is the MVP. He gets on the players. Ty seems chill, laying on the scoreboard and chilling. Did he look chill on Monday when James Harden threw that long outlet pass over the head of Ivica Zubac up 9 with 3 minutes left? Nah, man. Good to hear him in the interview, though, wanting to improve. He took a timeout also when they cut down the lead to 13 in the fourth quarter after James Harden took a long straightaway three-pointer. And I don't think it was at the end of the shot clock. Yeah, Frank White is fake news. Man can be traded this season, is the point. Frank White already said that he can't be traded till offseason, and that's factually incorrect. And he keeps saying this is a new video of Kawhi rehabbing and he looks healthy. I'm not going to do that stuff here. I'm trying to do something in spite of myself that is a smarter show. Like, he said this. He can't be traded till the end of the season. That's false. Jay said, why is everyone trying to trade T-Man? Dude hasn't been great, but still better than the trash most teams have on their benches. Well, he got an extension for $16 million after this season, about just under $60 million per year. So people want him to play better and live up to the contract. I get it. And they have guys that do what he does, but better in some ways. I'm not giving up on Terrence Mann right now, by the way. Ross said L. Frank should be given credit for the offseason signings. Dunn, Jones, Bamba, and KPJ have really changed the defense of this team. All have huge wingspans to bring length and athleticism. I tried to tell y'all, Lawrence Frank was cooking this offseason. Remember all the pictures that I was posting of Lawrence Frank? I superimposed his head onto a bunch of chefs. Let me see if I could find some of the photos that I put together for Lawrence Frank, because they were kind of funny. Just some photoshops with Lawrence Frank cooking something up in the kitchen. He was cooking. He was doing work. I don't know how people miss this. I wonder if I can find any of these old tweets. You know I'm the receipt master, especially when it's a good receipt for me. I'm not always right, but when I am, you're probably going to hear about it. Like when it comes to Terrence Mann, yeah, I think I'm going to be able to find a picture here of Lawrence Frank or two. He was cooking, guys. He was. Here you go. There's one of them. I want to find a different one from Lawrence Frank and check the date on it and see. Here's a couple. This is a pretty bad Photoshop, but I stand by it. Best I could do. This was July 1st. So this is right after they signed This was after they signed Chris Dunn. I posted underneath it, on 147 attempts the last 2 years, Chris Dunn is shooting 41% from three, and it looks like the Clippers are building a defensive identity. Love it. I told you back on July 1st. Looks like the Clippers are building a defensive identity. Love it. I'm not surprised by this stuff. Want another one? He's cooking with vodka here. I'm not surprised with any of this. Lawrence Frank has never gotten enough credit, all because Kawhi Leonard tore his ACL during the 2021 run, or else the Clippers win the championship. Was Lawrence Frank supposed to predict that? Here's another one. This was after there was an earthquake. And so obviously in 2019, when the quake happened, they got Kawhi and PG. So I put out the Lawrence Frank must be cooking, I guess, because there was an earthquake. I don't know what some of y'all expected, but this is what I expected from them defensively. 3 trade days said, what's your thoughts on Bones Highland? I think, like I said, this offseason, it looks like they're out on him. Bonit said, would you entertain a CP3 buyout in February? Man, we're in November. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Amin said, to beat Sacramento, we've got to handle the pace they play with. Believe it or not, the Kings don't. They play at a faster pace than the Clippers, of course. But they're only at 17th in pace, the Kings. The perception is what this comment is from Amin. But that's casual stuff. You got to check the new ratings. Sorry, man. They're only playing at the 17th fastest pace. The Clippers are 21st. That's not a huge difference. They're not playing as fast as they used to. Julio said, I just checked. We're the third worst team in turnovers, averaging 17.3 per game, 4.4 from Harden per game, a bit over 2 per game from KPJ. Yeah, I mean, they were second to last, so they've been worse than this, actually. Tim A said, when is the Coffey extension coming? He might have the best value contract in the league. When he signed that deal, it was, I think, 3 years, $12 million. Like, I thought it was a steal then. Jeremy Gonzalez said, so is Dunn's feet too big to stand in the corner? He has been out of bounds 3 times the last 2 games. 3 trade days said Dunn was a good signing and KPJ. Christian said people were hating because of losing PG for nothing. I told everyone they didn't lose him for nothing. Because they lost him, they got under the first apron, which got them Nico Batum, Derek Jones Jr., Chris Dunn. That was always a false narrative. Mike Dang said, LOL, Dunn 3 steps out of bounds, next 3 steps on the line, big shoes. Those Kevin Durant shoes. Who was the guy in the Colorado game last weekend that caught that touchdown but was way out of bounds? Brunit said Bones doesn't even get garbage time minutes. There's a disconnection there. PJ and Bones going to get us a good rotation piece. Let me know when that happens. Jeremy said L. Frank has always been a good GM, just that he had to give in to PG and Kawhi's request so he couldn't build the team he wanted. I think there's something to that, as everybody has to give in to their stars at times. Jay said, who has the Sixers first-round pick? They're hot garbage. Sixers fans having heart attacks over PG, Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon, and Lowry being old. Timothy said, Clippers shouldn't trade anyone except Bones and Tucker because they want to play somewhere else. Andy said, a lot of fans thought power forward is the position we need most. But watching this team, it looks like we need another playmaker. Yep. Harden can't keep this up all year. Need someone who can create for others. Thing is, they don't need necessarily just another playmaker. They need a guy who can create for himself. Kawhi can do that. And he's a solid playmaker. Kawhi cures a lot of what ails them, guys, if he can get back. 3 trade days said, we didn't draft Michael Porter Jr. Big mistake. Okay. Neither did how many teams before he went to Denver? How many teams passed on him? Jeremy Gonzalez said Debo probably slows them down. Huh? You talking about Sacktown? John said Derek Jones Jr. $10 million a year. Dunn $5.5 million a year. Both through the 26-27 season. Incredible value deals. Shout out L. Frank. Y'all should have been doing it this summer like I was. I knew he was cooking. Rock said we absolutely do not need more guards. If you want to play making 4, then so be it. I kind of agree with that, unless there's a consolidation made. Timothy said that's why they wanted Tyus Jones during the summer, and everyone thought L. Frank was crazy, but you can see it now. Jay said Lawrence Frank gets hate because of their injury reports being put together. That's not necessarily correct. King Charles said, Adam, I'm going to have to disagree with you on the Lawrence Frank take. We'll be wrong then. I agree that he has really put the team together this season, but allowing Paul George to pick his buddy and John Wall was unacceptable. Look, guys, if you don't think stars have influence, I don't know what game you're watching. There's something called player empowerment. The league has changed. Ex Mongo Project said, we forget we also got Nico back. I just said. Coffee and Ball said it's true. Terrence Mann can't be traded until next offseason. That's not true. That's not true. Oh my God. Terrence Mann can be traded. All right, I'm going to text Law right now. I'm going to text Law Murray right now and see if he'll answer. I probably shouldn't do this. All right, I'm not going to do it. Terrence Mann's contract is tradable. It's a weird, maybe it's a weird reason why it is, but he can be traded this season. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I don't know how to explain it. But Amin said people are never going to talk about us doing good without PG. All they're going to talk about is you should have signed PG. No, I think that narrative is going to change pretty soon. Rock said 213 made Frank choose draft picks or do swaps for Eric Gordon. Everyone needs to settle down. Jeremy said Sixers pick is top 4 protected, but if not, the pick goes to OKC, who is surprised. Ex-Mongo Project said, I don't think we can trade Bones and Tucker without losing one of our good rotation pieces. We already got a lot of guys that deserve playing time. Bunit said, this is BS. We have 3 games between now and Monday, and the Suns have 0. We already knew the schedule was rough coming into the year. Jeremy Gonzalez said, let's get Draymond for PJ and Bones. I think it's a fair deal. I don't want that contract. 3 trade days said Clippers at center is finally stacked. Bunit said, PG cried for all these players. He deserves the most blame. Bunit said, what are they talking about? T-Man can get traded right now. Rock said a man text at 12:42 a.m. I was about to. See, this is why Frank, this is it, man. One more. PG hasn't been efficient in years. He's coming off his most efficient season in his NBA career. He just had it last season. Oh, this guy's killing the chat. I don't think I can do it much longer. King of New York. I'm a West Coast guy. Frank White. I don't know. Christopher Walken deserves better. Andy81293 said, I didn't mind the Wall signing because it was a low-risk, high-reward move if he signed the vet minimum. Him demanding the taxpayer mid-level exception, in turn making us lose Hartenstein, made it a terrible signing. I agree. Timothy said, nah, PG had a huge influence on moves. Pat, Reggie Jackson, John Wall were all PG's choices. We could keep Isaiah Hartenstein if the front office didn't try to please PG. Timothy said, Mann's deal is immediately eligible to be traded. Just looked it up on Google. So who was the last guy that said, I should get a timeout? Coffee and Ball, timeout. Boom. That's how we do things here. There are stakes. There's real consequences on Clippers Talk for bringing in bad information. It's a little game I like to play here to try to make this place a truth-seeking podcast. Thank you, Timothy. I knew this as soon as he signed. I don't know what people were talking about. Jeremy Gonzalez said, iHeart is hooping, and John Wall is probably playing in China. Jay said, Norman Powell being out 2 games is most straightforward injury report the Clippers have given. I like it. I get them not knowing with Kawhi. As fans, we just want them to be honest. Well, he'll be reevaluated after Friday. We don't know if it's only 2 games. You can't know how guys' bodies respond. I don't know. They can't. There's no crystal ball for this stuff. Rock said, in hindsight, it does seem like PG and Claw found that contract healing fountain, and now it is what it is. Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. Dark man. Put that up there, Mike. Dang said, there are steaks. I am hungry. No, STAKES. Amin said, how are you feeling against Sacramento? I'll do a preview of that game tomorrow. I think I got to get to bed because I still got a little more work to do. Got to do an NBA report. I appreciate you all. Frank White, I hope you have a good night and everything is okay. Andy said, any interest with the UFC or WWE coming to Intuit Dome? Sure. I like the UFC a lot. Ticket prices are high, but both events should be fun. UFC will probably use the Halo board in its production. Oh, yeah. Nico, my cousin is here. PG was right about the Clips Sixers game. It was going to be tough selling tickets to watch us beat those bums. Puneet said, did you notice that when Kawhi played with PG, he didn't really respect him? He knows he's a punk. They're friends. That's not true, dude. He has called him a hell of a player multiple times. He has plenty of respect for him. Jeremy Gonzalez said Norman got to start a petition to make his jump shot faster in 2K. Is it slow? Rock said Ben Simmons shall save us. Come on, guys. Ross said, okay, thanks and good night. All right, gonna get some sleep. Appreciate y'all. We'll talk to you back here tomorrow. We're 7 days a week, so you never have to worry. We're never going that long without a show. I'm Adam Oslin. Clippers win tonight over the Orlando Magic. Can they go 4-0 in this homestand? We'll talk about that tomorrow when they take on Sacramento on Friday and preview that. Appreciate you guys and your grind and staying up late with me and encouraging me to do these because you're here. You show up, makes it easier for me to stay motivated with doing this every day. All right, my guys. Timothy, Peace, Christian, Puneet, MKXLNT, of course, John, ST, Ross,